Sri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. We hope that you are learning Sankirtanas and the chantings also very well, right? All of you. Most of you. So let us give a reading for the slokas which we have already finished. No? In the Gita Artha Sangraha, we finished the essence of first chapter. No? Let us read the slokas from the beginning. Let's collectively chant them. Okay? Start it. Swadharma vairagya sadhya bhaktyeka gocharaha narayana param brahma gita shastre samiritaha jnana karmatmike nishthe yoga lakshye susamskrute atmanubhuti siddhyarthe purvashatkena chodite madhyame bhagavat tattva yadhatmya vapti siddhaye jnana karma vinirvartyo bhakti yoga prakirtitaha pradhana purusha vyakta sarvesvara vivechanam karma dhir bhaktirityadi. He, you have to strike off the he. Here at the end, you can strike it off. In the meaning, then they wrote ityadi only, no? In the sloka, he came. Karma dhir bhaktir ityadi. Purvaseshontimoditaha asthana sneha karunya dharma dharmadhiya kulam patham prapannamuddisya shastravattaranam kritam. So good. So, is everybody feeling free with the slokas? You're able to read them, right? Independently also. Later we ask you to read independently. Now the essence of second chapter. We are reading from the book number 2 in page 12. The second chapter is the essence of whole Bhagavad Gita. Everything is in second chapter. Later that has been elaborated. Okay? And again, one thing which you won't find anywhere, and you need to make a note of it also so that you can remember it well. That is, where in fact the Gita-upadesa starts. And up to what point the Upadesam goes and then ends. Is it from the sloka 1 Dharma Kshetre to Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna? No. And prior to that, a few questions, just for your information, which you'd like to know, like how many slokas in Bhagavad Gita? 700, that's it. Some people say 701. They add one sloka at the beginning of 13th chapter as a question of Arjuna about the Kshetra, Kshetrajna and so on. And then they start the chapter. But that question was irrelevant. Right away Krishna started preaching. Arjuna never wanted to ask anything there. Because Arjuna was always thinking that he knows everything. So he need not ask for anything. So Arjuna was not at all asking. And Krishna started just random, the Upadesam in 13th chapter. So there's no first Arjuna's question as the first sloka of 13th chapter. So the slokas in Bhagavad Gita are only 700. That's the first thing. And second thing, while Arjuna and Krishna were discussing together, Sanjaya listened to them directly when it was telecasted to Sanjaya. And while Sanjaya was revealing that to Dhritarashtra, Vedavyasa recorded that as it is. It was not just they were talking casually and later composed by Vedavyasa in the form of slokas. No. Some people say so, but it's wrong. Because in the last part of 18th chapter, Sanjaya said, Sakshat Kathayata Swayam Srutavanaham. Whatever I spoke, all the words are just what I heard, not what the essence of what I heard. So, whatever Arjuna and Krishna discussed with each other, that also was in the format of sloka only. So they discussed like slokas, and that was heard by Sanjaya also as slokas, and Vedavyasa also got as slokas, and just he recorded them, that's all Vedavyasa did. So Bhagavad Gita's preaching was done as it's available in the book. And the next question is Bhagavad Gita some Vedavyasa's creation, or is it Krishna's preaching? It is just Krishna's preaching only. Then the next question comes, was Krishna existing at all? Were there Kauravas and Pandavas really fighting with each other for want of kingdom? Yes, Vedavyasa did not compose a poetry of his own. He just recorded the history. That's all. Vedavyasa was a historian, not a poet. So whatever just was happened was recorded as it is. So also Ramayana. That is the reason we don't want any event of Ramayana or Bharata should be corrected or justified or rectified or modified, whatever it is. We want it to be taken as just for granted, as it is, it was done, that's it. So some people say, Rama wouldn't have been killed while he from behind a tree. You know, it looks so odd for a great person like Rama. Rama wouldn't have sent Sita when she was carrying to the forest. He wouldn't have done that. And probably I think Rama and Sita came to an understanding, and just they said, come on, just you go and just try and do this. And some people even went to the extent of saying that Ravana did not kidnap the real Sita, and it was a Maya Sita, and the real Sita was in the fire. When the fire test was done, then the Maya Sita gone back and the real Sita came out. So this is something, adding nonsense to the text. Yeah, Sita may be Vedavati earlier, no problem.
Earlier?
In previous birth. It was in previous birth, maybe.
In the TTD website it is given like that.
Maybe that's fine, there's nothing wrong in it.
In Ramayana there was Vedavati and Ram gave a boon to her, and so for that he had to take a rebirth.
No, that we are not denying that, right? In her, I think, previous birth, she must be Vedavati. So, Bharata also same thing. Any event happened recorded in Bharat also were history. It was not a creation. It was not just a poetry written just to sell the books or for want of any any kirti, any fame, or to get any sort of a PhD degree. Just he recorded the events one after one. So Bhagavad Gita was revealed by Krishna to Arjuna and recorded by Sanjaya first, then by Vedavyasa. We can take it for granted that they are like that only.
Was he recording? Vedavyasa was recording while it was happening, or was it a revelation?
He was having the divine vision, so no question whether he can write at any time.
What is the lifespan? Definition changes.
Definitely, lot of.
100 years, you said one cannot live more than 100 years.
Mm-hmm. So their 100 years is much bigger than us, as the Brahma's 100 years. Yeah. And moreover, rishis like Vedavyasa, etc., they can expand their lifetime. Lifetime expansion is like this. If one heart is created, and how long it can be used, that also will be fixed. The moment heart is created, how many pumps it has to do? It should beat these many times. That is also fixed. But whether you make it fast or slow, that is up to you. How many cycles? So 100 cycles you may finish within half a minute, and you can expand them for 100 minutes also. If you see that one cycle goes for 1 minute, then you can make it for 100 minutes. Right? They know how to do that. What the scientists say, the genes in the chromosome, probably I think the ending at the beginning genes of the chromosome, they decide the age of that particular species, it seems. The more people growing, they get contracted. They slowly start coming closer You know? Basing upon that only, I think they decide the age, it seems. What, doctor? That's what I heard. So if they are able to expand, the age will get expanded. So in those days, those sages, they know how to do that by practicing the pranayama, etc., by doing the yoga abhyasa and other things. They know how to keep those genes so that they won't come closer, they won't get contracted. They have some code which right now I didn't remember. They give codes like TWAA, NNN, like that. There are some codes. Just I forgot that. I think probably it is telemere, something like that. Anyway, I'll find it again sometime later. I'll give that information also. So they know how to expand the age. So those, according to us, they live for hundreds of years. There are people, actually we know, who lived more than 200 years. Yeah, there was a saint, a sage, a Babaji, whose name was Devariya Baba, who just passed away very recently. The name was Devariya Baba, his name, and he used to live in Ganga. Only just he made some base structured with some pieces of wood, and on the top he used to stay, that's all. And it was at a height of say about 9 feet or so. Anybody goes for his darshan, then he used to touch him with his feet, that's all. Even Rajiv Gandhi also went there. Rajiv Gandhi also prostrated before him and he touched his feet, and he also put his feet on his head, like that. And he passed away during the 90s, very recently. And actually he contributed some money for publishing one book also, which was done by us. The Bhagavad Gita, which was done in Hindi, for one book, it was in 2 volumes, so for that he gave some money also. He arranged some money. Gopalacharya Swamiji was publishing that. It seems he lived for almost 300 years. Yeah. That Devariya Baba, he lived for almost 300 because old people used to say, we also saw him like this when we were young. That's what they said, yeah. Almost 3 generations he lived like that. And even in near Badrikashram also there are some people like that. Just on and off, just you can see them there. They are just wearing a gunny bag and just they keep going. And they take bath in the cold water of Ganges there in Alkananda. And just they keep going like that. And even they also used to say, my grandparents also used to say, when they were young also they were seeing him like that. And the name of that person is still now in Badri. Tadband Baba or something like that, they call him. So because of their yogic powers, they can do that. But they may not be knowing that the mechanism of the cell and the genes and the expansion and contraction, all these things they might be knowing. But because of the practice they do, their age grows like that, and I think those genes may get expanded. Possibly that may happen. Or they also live for 100 years only. But that 100 years will go a long way. No, not like us. See, the person who runs, his heart beating will be more. Don't you think so? He get exhausted, exerted, and then if it has to pump for say about 25 times a minute, for him it pumps almost 50 times. Because he is giving a lot of stress on that. Whereas one who does the pranayama like thing, I think for him from 20 it comes down to 15, 10 like that. Slowly. That means his span has been a little bit expanded. And those who feel terribly tense, restless, for them the rate of beating may go up. So their lifespan will get decreased. That's automatic. But the number of what you call that, that is fixed, it seems. That is fixed. How many, we don't know. That is what we need to understand. Okay. So, Bhagavad Gita started from our 12th sloka of 2nd chapter. Do you have a book? Anybody having a book? Gita book with them? Yeah? Just see the book. What's the sloka? From the... Exactly, right? That is the beginning sloka of Bhagavad Gita Upadesam. It is 12th by number, right? So 12th sloka of 2nd chapter, where actually the Upadesa started from. And it ended at 66th sloka of 18th chapter. Sarvadharman Parityajya was the last sloka. What is called as Charama sloka. Charama means last. Sloka is sloka. So in between whatever is there, that is only the Gita Upadesam. Before Natvevaham, that is up to 11th sloka of 2nd chapter, we call it as preamble, Purvapithika. And after Sarvadharma, after 66th sloka of 18th chapter, what we call it as Uttarapithika. ఏమంటారు ఉత్తరపీఠిక?
Post chapter.
Epilogue.
So now let us take the essence of 2nd chapter. Okay? I will. I'm repeating the slokam, and you follow after us twice. Nityatma. Asanga karmeha gochara sankhya yogadhihi द्वितीये स्थितधीलक्षा प्रोक्ता तन्मोहशान्तये नित्यात्मा संगकर्मेह అంటే we add like that. Beginning we split the sloka nityatma asanga karma iha asanga karmeha like that. If we link them up, nityatma asanga karme like that we chant. Somebody said something? No, it's fine. This is the essence of second chapter. You know? Nitya Atma. This is what is very important. Atma is eternal. This jnanam is very important. This jnanam is called as Sankhya Dhi. The second chapter of Bhagavad Gita is called as Sankhya Yoga. What is the meaning of the word Sankhya? Khya means knowledge. Khya means knowledge. Sankhya means good knowledge. Samkhya means good knowledge. An object that has good knowledge, pure knowledge, is called Sankhya. That is the soul. Atma is the one having knowledge, not the Prakriti. Right? So Sankhyam means Atma, which is other than the nature. Basically, we need to have the understanding that Atma is not the nature. Atma is not the body. Atma is other than the body. And Atma is indestructible. Whereas Atma is unprotectable. We cannot stop the body from death. Whatever you do, it goes. And you must be knowing. One person, I think, is Lenin. Lenin's body was preserved, right? Till recent times. In Russia. Yeah. They wanted to protect that body after he died. But they could do that for only a little time. Then again it's gone. Right? So body, no one could protect that. But whereas Atma, no one can kill that also. Na jayate, mriyate, that is the Atma. And whereas the Deha, when you look at the Deha or the body, and no one can stop. So it slowly gets deteriorated. And ultimately, it gets separated with all its elements, So, what we need to know is, whatever is eternal, the soul, do something for that. Know something about it. And whatever is prone for changes, you need not worry much for that. There will be definitely some, what you call them, sorrow about the temporary things also. See, while traveling in a train or in a flight, we meet with a few people and we talk together and we like them, we take their address, we take the email ID and so on and so forth. But when again the station comes, you have to say bye and go. With other people it is fine, they easily can say bye and go. But with our Indians, they just can't say bye and go. You know, their heart, you know, will be always constantly bothering them. I would have been spent some more time, I would have been done something else. That is how, you know, the Indian people, mostly, I can't say that's everybody, but most of the Indian people, they think that way, because their attachment is so great, their concern is really good, right? So that comes through. So also, when you are in the body for a longer time and used it for so many purposes, and when you are about to leave, definitely you feel sorry for it. You know, and in spite of it's causing so many troubles and giving a lot of pains, you don't mind, you know, being in that for some more time. You know, even people those who are crossing through their 110 or 120 like that, still they love to be there for some more time. Not only with you and your body, but even with the people around you also, with whom you are having some sort of acquaintance, and you love to be with them, because just you were with them for some time and you love to be with them, that's all. But that is a temporary thing. You need to realize that it keeps on moving, going, coming. Atma is eternal. First realize that fact. Nitya Atma. Atma Nitya. That's what we need to know. Atma Nityam. That is what we say. Knowing that very clearly is called Sankhyam. And whatever related to cultivate faith in that issue were discussed in chapter 2. No? So the name of the chapter became Sankhya Yoga. When we know that Atma is eternal, then how do we do the activity? We do our activity without much sangam to the body. Sangam is attachment. There will be definitely sangam, but that sangam should not take us away along with it. That is how we prepare our activities. That's how we do our activities. And without much attachment, or in other words, having higher attachment. Higher in sense, having attached to God, you don't consider attaching to other things is greater than that. You know, anything is much inferior than attaching to God. So we need to feel His presence in our heart constantly. And then whatever you do for the sake of body, with the body, there the attachment which you were having earlier slowly goes down. We always give an example. One person used to eat the pulp of a sugar cane always, standing on the sugar cane factory site. But one generous person saw that and said, "Oh my God, you know, we have to help him some way." Then he prepared Mysore Paks and gulab jamuns and jalebis. So many things he prepared and brought for him and said, "Come on, eat them." That fellow, actually, he was not knowing any of this stuff. After started eating, he liked them very, very much, and he used to supply them. For some more days he supplied. Then he stopped. Then do you think the person who was just eating pulp at the beginning, after tasting the gulab jamun and Mysore pak, does he go again for the pulp?
No.
then what it does? He search for gulab jamun only. And earlier he was using only the pulp, right? That is true. Now I don't want. Because his attachment towards the pulp is gone, and his attachment towards that higher taste is filled up in his heart. So also, if our taste is towards him, then other tastes will automatically get detached. That is what we call, but he is nowhere than doing activities with the body, in the world, with the people. He do everything, but with lesser attachment. That is called asanga. Nitya atma asanga karma. Asanga karmeha. While doing the karma, he will not be having any sanga. That is how actually he wants to do. We call it as karma yoga. Karma nitya asanga karma iha gochara. Whenever he has desire like that, doing the karma with less attachment, then comes Sankhya Yoga Dhi. Sankhya means knowing about the soul. Yoga is making it as a mode to go to a higher level. Yoga means mode. Usually we use the word yoga as some sort of practice. But here in Bhagavad Gita, after every chapter there is a word attached as yoga. With every chapter the title is also added with the word yoga. Jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, Sankhya yoga, Purushottam prapti yoga. Yoga means there a mode, sadhana, an instrument like. So here, to attain the grace of God, Sankhya also, that means Atma Jnanam also considered as one of the modes. That he understands. Two things are to be here noted down. One, before starting karma, there will be some jnanam. While doing the karma with that jnanam, again he has to get some more jnanam. Here, karma will be done, but before doing also there must be some jnanam, after also there must be some, both are different. Jnanam means don't think just simple jnanam. Now I think you must be watching here, afternoon while the cassette release was there, some person came and just he shooted us. Right? Now before shooting, was he having any knowledge of that camera? Otherwise how can he shoot the pictures? He must be having. Yes. Before taking the photograph, he should know where to insert the film, how to hold the camera, and where to click the camera, and then how to rotate it, and again how to click the camera. This is what we call initial jnanam. With initial jnanam, then he starts the activity. But while clicking the photograph, he never takes the photograph for his own sake. He wouldn't have come for his own sake. Isn't it? He came for some person. So after taking the photos also, he goes to his lab, he washes the film, makes a few copies, and then in what way he is concerned, whether it came good or bad, and how and why. Just he takes the photographs and he gives them to the person whoever engaged. If somebody might appear with a laughing face, somebody might appear with crying face, still he has no business why it came like this and how it came like this. All that, yes, he delivers that photograph to the person whoever is there in the photo, who wanted them to do the job. That's, he washes his hands, finish. Jai Sriman Narayan. So before he had knowledge of operating the system, after he knows where it to be given, then he is free. He got his own money and there it is fine. So also, while dealing with the body, we should have the initial knowledge of what Atma is, what body is, how both are together, how Atma is working, why body is not working. So all these things were discussed thoroughly. Look in the sloka. Nitya Atma Asanga Karmeha Gochara Sankhya Yoga Dhihi. Sankhya Yoga Dhihi. Sankhya means Atma Jnana. Yoga means converting it as a mode. Whoever possesses that knowledge, and it has to come by karma acharana. And that karma practice should come by knowing what karma, why that karma, whose is this karma. This is the description of this sloka. Nityatma sangha karmeha is the initial. Sankhya yoga dhihi, this is last stage. Dvitiye sthita dhi laksha prokta. Dvitiye in second chapter. Sthita dhi laksha. Sthita dhi, sthita prajna. Dhi means jnana. Sthita dhi means jnana is fixed in him. Dhi means jnana, I said, right? Usually the word we say is sthita prajna. What it means? Sthita prajna means jnana has been sthita, fixed up, established, well established. Here, when you have the knowledge of Atma and then start doing the karma, to enhance the jnana, how to protect that jnana, there is a sadhana, there is a process. That process is elaborated in chapter 2. You know, Dvitiye sthita dhi laksha prokta. Dvitiye in second chapter. Sthita dhi laksha. Sthita, fixed, dhi, jnanam, how it would be. Laksha, all the gurtulu. Yeah, all the signs for, is it sign just what you call the sign? By seeing what you can infer. Indicators, right? That is the word. All the indications, and what are the indications to become a sthita prajna? They were explained. And all the indicators also were provided in the second chapter. Why? For whose? Tan moha santaye, to pacify the ignorance of Arjuna. Because Arjuna said, I am not going to wage the war. It means he fell in moha, in ignorance. And to eradicate his ignorance, he revealed the process as in how to get to become a sthita prajna. And before becoming a sthita prajna, what you need to wish for. And before doing that, you need to have a asanga with the, what you call, doing the activities with the body. And even to do that, you need to know that body is other than you, and you are other than the body. Body will go anyway, and don't just crave to preserve it. And Atma will not die anyway. So don't cry saying that, oh, it is going, I am dying. You never die. All the attachment you have with the body will be detached, and you will be going to another body. So before going, try to crave to go to a higher plane rather than just going down. That happens when you do your duty well. So doing our duty well at the initial stage is the jnana what we need. By practicing that, we get the Atma jnana, that Atma is separate than the body. By knowing and then thinking to attain that stage, if you start putting all your efforts, which is called Sankhya Yoga, and what will be the indication that you can see? See, by doing something, you find something. Some people ask us, Swamiji, I am feeling something here and something here, so how could I go to this level? How can I go to the third level? I said, why necessarily you have to search for the levels? Whatever practice you can do, just keep doing, that's enough. You may go to any level, doesn't matter. Going to the higher level means just you want to be proud of your own status, and you want to show it to others, and then be praised by others. When that wish came, then you have fallen down. You know, some people, while doing the pranayama and asanas, they raise from the ground to a little extent, or to 4 inches or 6 inches height they can raise. But what happens the moment they start raising from the ground, they feel like showing it to others and being a saint. When that comes, gone. So that should not be there. So that is what is said in what will be the indications you can find by yourself. Sthita prajna states. First stage, second stage, third stage, 4 stages were given by Krishna. What they are called as Sthita prajna avasthas. So all that was explained in 2nd chapter. So this is for Arjuna to have, to inspire him, removing his ignorance. Krishna preached in 2nd chapter. Shall we read the sloka then now? Did you write the meaning, word to word meaning of this sloka? You didn't write? Do you want to write? Yes. Come on. Atma, or otherwise write Nityatma. Nityatma, knowing that Atma is eternal, asanga karmeha, desiring to perform duties without selfish motive, gochara, by those 2 things. Now, let us write the gochara next. No? అంటే ఈ రెండిటి వల్ల గోచర మనకి లభించే అని చెప్పాలి. వీటి వల్ల లభించేది సాంఖ్యయోగధి. Gochara means what? వీటి వల్ల లభించేది అనాలంటే
result of the result of
లేదా ఇహ గోచర results to, you can write it, yeah, or leads to, you can write either, resulting, Sankhya Yoga Dhihi, makes the knowledge as a mode for self-attainment. That is called Buddhi Yoga. And Sthitadhi Laksha. Sthitadhi. Indications of a Jnana Yogi. Sthitadhi Laksha. Laksha means indications. Sthitadhi Laksha indications of a Sthita Prajna, or if a realized soul. Prokta Dvitiye. Was told in second chapter. Tan moha santaye. To dispel the ignorance of Arjuna. What is the Tatparyam written in our work? To know that soul is eternal is called Sankhya. One who wishes to do karma yoga should have this conviction first. One who wishes to do not just to do karma yoga. I think the translation is went wrong, you know. If one wants to become a karma yogi, he needs to have this knowledge as the primary prerequisite. As a prerequisite, he needs to have this knowledge. One, to become a karma yogi, he needs to have this knowledge as a prerequisite. Then he should have sincerity in performing duties, expecting no relationship with the result or the fruit of the performed action. Then he has to do the action, do his duty without attachment, without desiring the result, without expecting the result for his own self. Because he is one among few by whom the actions are being performed. In process of doing actions in this way, then he can slowly attain sthita prajnata in a phased manner. Indications at each stage were mentioned by Lord Krishna in 2nd chapter to dispel the ignorance of Arjuna. You can write it in the right English. I give you the essence and you can put in the right English. Okay? I think you got the essence of what we said, right? Did you? ఏమర్థం కాదు కూడా తెలియకుండా చూడండి, just I'll tell you in Telugu once, no? అదే ఈ ఒక శ్లోకానికి తెలుగులో చెప్తాను. మొదట ఆత్మ నిత్యము అనేది తెలియాలి. ఓకే, శరీరము కంటే ఆత్మ వేరు అనేది తెలియడాన్ని సాంఖ్యము అని అంటారు. లేదు, అలాంటి జ్ఞానం వల్ల తెలియబడే ఆత్మకి సాంఖ్యం అని పేరు. ఆ జ్ఞానాన్ని సాధనంగా చేసుకోవడం సాంఖ్య యోగము అవుతుంది. సాంఖ్యయోగం అంటే నిత్యమైనది ఆత్మ శరీరం కంటే అది నాశనం కాదు అని తెలిసే జ్ఞానానికి సాంఖ్యం అని పేరు. ఆ సాంఖ్యాన్ని సాధనంగా చేసుకుంటూ మనం ఆత్మ సాక్షాత్కారం వైపు వెడితే అది సాంఖ్య యోగము అవుతుంది. ఓకే, అయితే మనం అట్లాగే ప్రయాణం చేయాలి అని అంటే మధ్యలో while performing actions you get so many fruits from this corner and that corner. No, without expectation you did something, then you got some benefit. The moment we got the benefit, what happens is నాకు వచ్చినటువంటి that what actually drops him down. Ustunte, definitely there will be some results coming. There is no question of when you are doing something good, definitely something good comes to you. Some people start praising you and some people offering you something and you are forced to take them also. Kani, what happens is after taking twice, third time you start expecting, why didn't this guy is giving something to me? You see the fun? మొదటి 2 సార్లు మనకి ఏదో పొందాలి అని అనిపించదు. ఇప్పుడు ఏదో మనం వెళ్ళి దేవుడి దగ్గర సర్వీస్ చేస్తున్నాం అనుకోండి, వీఆర్ డూయింగ్ సర్వీస్ ఇన్ టెంపుల్ and without any expectation we went to the temple and we have some time and started volunteering the service, and first time we did, nobody recognized. Second time we did, somebody said you did good job, and third time we did again, some people said you really wonderful, how best you organized, and again third time also we started doing, finished, nobody said something. Why should I do something here when nobody is recognizing me? ఇది తప్పకుండా వస్తుందండి. ఇప్పుడు మనకి ఎప్పుడైతే థ్యాంక్స్ తెప్పించుకోవడం అలవాటు అయిందో, whenever we are used to receive thanks from people, if people are not saying thanks, we really become mad. We really become upset. నేను చేట్ ఎంత చేస్తే కానీ థ్యాంక్స్ కూడా చెప్పడవాడు. దట్ ఈస్ అంటే రిసీవింగ్ గుడ్ థింగ్స్ ఆల్సో జస్ట్ లైక్ ఎలర్జీ ఆఫ్ ది స్కిన్. అన్లెస్ యూ కీప్ ఆన్ రబ్బింగ్ యూ జస్ట్ కాంట్ స్టే. తెలుసా అండి, ఇది కూడా ఒక గజ్జి దురద లాంటిది. దాన్ని జాగ్రత్తగా రాస్తున్నంతసేపు ఎంత హాయిగా ఉంటుందో, దాని మీద వేడినీళ్ళు పోస్తుంటే ఇంకెంత హాయిగా ఉంటుందో. ఇట్స్ వెరీ డేంజరస్ థింగ్, దానికి మనం బానిసలం కాకుండా ఉండాలి. దట్ ఈస్ ఆల్ ఇట్ ఈస్. ఇప్పుడు ఎవడో వచ్చి మనం పొగుడుతుంటే దాన్ని పట్టించుకోకుండా ఉండగలవా? Somebody started scolding on you. Could you just restrain? Still it's very difficult. Immediately we become raised and ఏదో తమలపాకుతో నీ ఒకటంటే తలుపు చెక్కతో అని నన్నంటావా నీ నాన్నలాగా, నీ తాతలాగా, నీ ముత్తాతలాగా, నీ ముత్తాతలాగా అక్కడ దాకా వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. That's the big problem, So, if somebody insults you, somebody praises you, are you able to just receive them equally? Are you able to manage the equilibrium? That's what it is. The wonderful thing is, as you are just ready to receive praises, be able to receive insults also. ఏమంటే అది మనకి ఇష్టం ఉంటుంది. అలాగా నన్ను ఎవడైనా పొగిడితే బాగుండు అనుకున్నట్టుగా నన్ను తిడితే కూడా పర్వాలేదు అనుకోగల. See, by doing something, as we are just ready to receive some sort of what do you call that, prizes, some sort of rewards, are you just ready to receive some, do you expect, at least you expect reward, right? Are you ready to expect some insult also? If you are ready to expect insults also, equally with regards, then you are sthita prajna.
You should not be negative thinking.
But even without that, you do receive both. Yes? It's not negative thinking. It is a forecasting right. If you are just ready to receive both of them, you are real sthita prajna. What is the first step to reach that stage? What is the second step to reach that stage? What is the third step to reach that stage? That is what is explained in second chapter. How you can become like that? ఆ స్టేజ్కి మీరు ఎట్లా వెళ్ళగలుగుతారు? వెడుతుంటే మధ్య మధ్యలో ఒకటో స్టెప్ దాటగానే ఏమొస్తాయి, రెండో స్టెప్ దాటగానే ఏమొస్తాయి, మూడో స్టెప్ దాటగానే ఏమొస్తాయి, నాలుగో స్టెప్లోకి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు ఏమొస్తాయి. అట్ ఈచ్ స్టెప్, that is what I said as indicators. Some indication is there. Oh, if you reach this stage, you are in the first. If you are like this, you are in second. You are like this, you are in third. If you are like this, you are in fourth. That is how we can say. That is what explained in second chapter. Okay? That is what is called as sthita prajnata. ఇంగ్లీష్లో చెప్పడం అంత కష్టంలో ఉంటుంది. కానీ ఏం చేస్తాం, మనకి అది మీడియా అయిపోయింది. దట్ బికేమ్ ద మీడియా టు కమ్యూనికేట్ ద థింగ్స్. వీ కాంట్ కమ్యూనికేట్ ఇన్ ద ఒరిజినల్ లాంగ్వేజ్ సాంస్క్రిట్, అండ్ it is still worse. So just this broken language itself is good than, it's better than that. Yes. This foreign language is better than the original mother tongue. That is how we became, so unfortunately. But anyway, we have to go with it. Come on, let's read the meaning, the sloka again. Now you got the essence of the second? In the second chapter, who is sthita prajna? What is sthita prajnata? And what are the steps to reach that sthita prajna state? And at each step, what are the signals? What are the indicators? And what is the prerequisite to reach or to go through those steps? What explained? That's enough. Baundadi? You can put in that way, okay? You correct the meaning in the book accordingly, okay? Now again, if you look at the sloka, I think you can understand, you can interpret that way. Nitya Atma, the eternity of the soul, that also was explained. Asanga karma, how karma, asanga is to be developed. That means the detachment, how detachment comes by performing karma. Because karma you perform, and with sankalpa you perform, with so many things you perform, then how detachment comes? So, developing detachment towards the karma. Okay, why should we unnecessarily bother ourselves in knowing all these things? Let's stop the karma. No. Karma iha. That means desire to perform karma also must be there. Because you want to do the karma. Body is for karma only. So long as you are having body, you can't just say, I give up karma. That's literally impossible. So karma iha means desire. So karma iha must be there. But that karma iha should be asanga karmeha. It has to be that way. So what is karma iha? What is asanga karmeha? What is the attached karma? What is the detached karma? And how you desire for it. If you be that way, then what happens is Sankhya Yoga Dhi will be developed. Buddhi will be evolved. The Buddhi blossoms. How it blossoms? It blossoms as Sankhya Yoga. That means you can make the knowledge of the self as the mode of attaining that. See, knowing is different than the attainment, right? చంద్రుడి మీద హాయిగా ఉండును అంటే వెళ్ళిపోయినట్టేనా మనం? ఎంత కష్టం మేము చూసి అమెరికా రావడానికి. And I think most of you guys also know that pretty well anyway. You know, going to America is good and studying there is nice. Doing some job is really wonderful and getting dollars also is really wonderful. But how? You went to what you call that consulate and got rejected and again went back and again they put some queries and sent you back and again you went and again they asked some more questions and you wanted something more and again finally you lost that year and next year again you started. No, Bhagiratha Prayatnam is important. After Bhagiratha Prayatnam, one fine morning if it comes, what happens? You can't just take it easy, ఏదో వచ్చింది అనుకుంటారా? అక్కడి నుంచి మీరు అమెరికా అంత ఎత్తి ఎగురుతారు. And you say, my God, I moved earth and heaven. He has to get this. వీడు ఎర్త్ అండ్ హెవెన్ మూవ్ చేసేవాడైతే వాడు మొట్టమొదటి వీళ్ళు ఎందుకు తెచ్చుకోడు? అప్పుడు తిరిగి ఏడ్చేటప్పుడు ఎర్త్ హెవెన్ మూవ్ చేసిన జ్ఞాపకం రాలేదు వీడికి. పాస్పోర్ట్ చేతికి వచ్చాక వాడు ఎర్త్ హెవెన్ మూవ్ చేసేసిన విషయం వీడికి జ్ఞాపకం వచ్చింది వీడికి. సో దట్ ఈస్ ద థింగ్. సో effort, knowledge, one. Translating to action is 2. Doing that successfully is 3. Receiving the result is 4. So result comes last. There are 4 steps. Sankhya Yoga Dhi, making Atma knowledge, making the self knowledge as the mode is the first step only. But even to reach that first step, you have to desire for detached karma. And that comes only after knowing that Atma and Prakriti are not one, they are separate. Knowing them with details, that's important. Even we also know that no, when I said Atma is other than the body, and then just you understood that. Did you understand it well? మిమ్మల్ని ఇక్కడ ఒక గంట సేపు కూర్చోబెట్టి తెలుస్తుంది అప్పుడు. And if I make you to sit 1 more hour, then you will understand how far you know that. Because the body becomes restless. And in spite of Swamiji speaking, just you immediately just stand up and say, huh? I go. So, that is the body. We know that is temporary, but still that is the force of the body. You know you are eternal, and you still know that you don't need anything. The food you are giving only to the body, not to you. Still, you have to go for it. If somebody is not giving, just you fall on the pot and just you take the whole thing and start eating. No, that's the body. No, you are there, you are in that. So just knowing things is not enough. You will not do all, Knowing is only just 1%. Understanding is 5%. And starting the practice is 20%. Starting the action is 20%. Doing it perfectly is 50%. Then rest of the 50% is, His grace you may or may not receive. But unless you finish this 50%, how you expect the rest of the 50%? Let the last 50% come, then I'll... After all, 50-50, no? So let the first 50 come there. Some person started business one day, and first he went to the temple and prayed to Ganesha, "Oh Ganesh, if you bless me with 1 rupee today, 1 rupee profit, net profit, I'll give you 50%. He promised to Ganesh, and then he went to do the business, and then he was very successful in doing the whole thing, and he got 1 rupee profit also. Exactly 1 rupee he got the profit for the day. And he thought, my God, Ganesha is really great. And he is Apada Mokkulu. Whatever just we pray for, differently he sanctions. Ganesha is really great. Come on, let me go to him and just prostrate before him and just offer his share. Then he started going to the temple. Just before he reached the temple, just he hit the stone and just he fell down. The moment he fell down, the coins which he kept in his pocket, a 50 paise coin and 50 paise coin, both fell down and one rolled into the drainage. Only 50 paise remained in his pocket. He went to the Ganesha and said, Ganesh, your 50% was fell in the drainage. That's the logic. We most of the times use with God. But he's pretty brilliant, He knows how to take care of us. That's why the samsara is going on and on, Otherwise, we would have occupied his place long, long ago. No, it's not possible. So, his grace is very important, the last. But how one becomes a sthita prajna is revealed to Arjuna, to eradicate, to dispel his ignorance in second chapter. Nityatma sangha karmeha gochara sankhya yogadhi dvitiye sthitadhi laksha prokta tanmoha santaye. You understood the sloka meaning? అర్థమైనట్టు అనిపిస్తుందా? అందుకోసం అలాగే అడిగాం మేము. Now, shall we go for the third one? It is 5:30. What do we do?
Keep going. Third one.
Shall I go for the next?